Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. For those of you that haven't been here before, my name's Janice and I'm a Thermomix consultant. I'm in full swing, Christmas hamper mode. This is my last weekend. I've got to cook things. And so now we're doing everything that needs to be the freshest. So what I am doing first up is fudge. So it actually keeps quite well in the fridge or the freezer, but I just haven't got to it yet. So a couple of videos ago we made some, can you see that, condensed milk? So I'm going to do 2 batches of fudge today and 2 batches tomorrow. And the first one we're doing today is the Oreo fudge. Now that is my family's absolute favourite. It's the one that goes like in seconds it's gone. And then the other one I'm going to do, but I'm going to do this tomorrow when I've got a little bit more thinking time. I'm going to attempt a gingerbread fudge. Now I've never done a gingerbread fudge before, but I know I've got a few recipes I've found, and I just want to convert them into a Thermomix recipe because it's all the recipes, all the fudge recipes I've got are very similar in their making, cooking time, ingredients, the amount they make, and I like that. And so I want to get a gingerbread one, which is similar size. So tonight I'll sit down with a pen and paper and write a few notes, and then tomorrow I will have a go at the gingerbread. But today I'm going to do the Oreo cookie one and the vanilla fudge. So rightio, let's start cooking. So the very first thing we're going to do is weigh in some white chocolate and powder it up. Now you don't have to, like with these ones, it's not necessary to powder it up because it's already in little tiny pieces, but I'm going to do it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 200 grams of this white cooking chocolate. And I've also bought, the good chocolate and made it with that. And that's nice too. Oops. Okay. And it's okay if we add an extra 10 grams of chocolate. Okay. 5 seconds, speed 5. Or speed 9, sorry. Right, and that was 3 seconds, and that's enough. Because if you do it too long, it adds a bit too much heat and it starts to melt together. So if you can see that it's starting to clump. The other thing you can do is keep it in the fridge. It's telling me to check my oven. Okay. Perfect. And then we add that right at the end. So, I think I have done fudge before, but let's do it again. Rightio. So now we want 400 gram can of condensed milk. So we made this was a double batch of condensed milk, which is probably the equivalent of 2 tins. Now this has been in the fridge, so it is quite thick. Hang on. Now we want scales, and we want 400 grams. See, I mean, the can of condensed milk was always 400 grams, and it just got smaller and smaller and smaller, and like it's 300 and something now. And I don't understand the reason for that. Because like all the old recipes ask for a 400 gram can. 200 grams of caster sugar. Tear. Now I'm absolutely positive we add everything to this except the Oreos and the white chocolate. So we want the condensed milk, the sugar, 200 grams of caster sugar, okay, 125 grams of butter. Now I've got unsalted butter here, but I don't mind salted butter in some of them. Okay, tear. See if we can get 10 grams. Nope. Okay, perfect. Then we need glucose. And that's just a tablespoon of glucose. So it says add condensed milk, butter, sugar, glucose. Now it's 8 minutes. And we're going to take the cap off, and we'll put the simmering basket on top. Okay. 8 minutes. At 100 degrees. Speed 3. Rightio. So now I will do a few other things and I'll come back and we'll keep going. Rightio. So we're going to scrape down the bowl. And what I've got is, it said half a packet of Oreos, which is 7 biscuits, and I've got them out and I've broken them all into 4 pieces, just roughly. The Thermomix will break them up a bit more when we're mixing it in. Now we're going to cook that for a further 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Varoma. Speed 3. And then once that's done, then we'll have a look and see what it looks like, to see if we want to add a bit more time. So that's the 20 minutes. We're going to have a look now and see what it looks like. See, we can cook that for a little bit longer to make it darker. Which I think I am going to do. doing is I'm just scraping up the, there's a little bit stuck to the bottom. I mean, it's nothing, it's just set on the bottom and we don't want it to stay there. Otherwise it might actually burn because it's cooked a bit more than the rest. So I'm going to give that another 2 minutes and then we'll come back and I'll finish it off. Okay, 2 minutes. And I don't know if you can, I probably didn't show you before, I probably just looked at it, but you can see it's just a bit more bubbly looking, right here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the chocolate. And the Oreo. 10 seconds. Speed 4 in reverse. So to get reverse is when you select the speed, there's a little, under the 0, there's a little picture of the blades, and if you tap on that, then you'll get the reverse thing. And what did we say? Speed 4, I think. Yes. And that's until all the chocolate is melted. So if it's not melted after these few seconds, I find that stirring it with the spatula finishes it off quite quickly. Rightio. And I meant to make some of my cookie dough this morning, or my biscuit dough this morning, before I made the fudge, so I could be baking that while in the 20 minutes the fudge was making. But I got distracted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the moulds. Then I'm going to make some cookie dough. Then by that time, this should be set. I should be able to take it out of the moulds and I can make the other lot of fudge for today. Rightio, I'm just going to put that there. And I'm not going to fiddle. Right. Okay, so we've got the first lot of biscuits in the oven cooking. I've taken the fudge out of the first lot of fudge, the Oreo fudge out of the moulds, and it's back in the fridge. And now we're going to make the second one. So I was going to do the vanilla fudge, but I've decided to do the easy caramel fudge, and I'll do them in the order of what the kids love them, and this is their second favourite. They also like the salted caramel one off Cookie Doo. But I've made that one for a few years, so we're going to go back to this one today. So I've already weighed out my white chocolate. Now I'm not going to mill that because it actually melts really well without being broken up. I mean, it's chocolate melts. If you're using block chocolate, definitely mill it to start. Right. So now, I do need that. So we need condensed milk. It says 1 can of condensed milk. So that's, once again, that's 400 grams. Here. So if this is not 400 grams, I'm just going to go with whatever it is. Oops. So 450, and that's okay. I mean, I don't even know what I was going to say. Oh, basically, that shouldn't matter. Rightio. I'm going to go and get my biscuits out of the oven. I'll be back. Rightio. I'm on a bit of a roll now, so everything's sort of just flowing. Those biscuits have got to sit on the tray for 5 to 10 minutes to cool. Then I'll take them off, and by that time I should have this cooking. So it says condensed milk, 120 grams of butter. I'll just grab that, I'll put it over there to wash. Okay. What do we say? 120 grams. Brown sugar, so we want 160 grams of brown sugar. I'm going to have to make some more brown sugar tomorrow because we're nearly out. Um, 75 grams of golden syrup. Oops. And 50 grams of golden syrup. Oh, it's too efficient. I put everything away. Eight minutes, 100 degrees. Speed 3. And I'll come back once we've done that. Rightio. So, what we're going to do is we're going to give this a scrape down. This is our first cook. And then we're going to give this another 18 minutes. I just want to get anything that's stuck to the bottom off, so nothing burns, because sometimes in that first bit things can get caught stuck on the bottom and they just need wiping off and mixing into the rest of the caramel. No, it's really fudge, isn't it? Alright. Now we're going to give that another 18 minutes. At Baroma temperature on speed 3. Once that's finished, once that's up, we'll have a look and we might extend it by a further 2 minutes. Rightio. So I've given it its extra 2 minutes and now we're going to add the chocolate. Now, as I said, I didn't chop. Let's have a look at that. I didn't chop this chocolate up. I've just left it in the buttons. 3 seconds. Now let's make it 15 seconds. Speed 3. I can't remember. Speed 4. Let's have a look. There we go, that's all melted through. And then we will give it a stir and pour it into our moulds. Smells amazing. Rightio. Rightio, so I'll give that all a scrape down, I'll give that all a flatten out, scrape this out and it'll go in the fridge until it's set, and then I'll be ready to go for it to come out tomorrow for me to make the other two. So we're continuing our fudge saga. This morning I made the vanilla fudge and I've popped it out of the moulds, and now I'm going to have a go at making a gingerbread fudge. So I have looked at all the recipes online. I couldn't find one that I liked, so I've gone to the caramel fudge we made and the vanilla fudge, and I'm getting it as close as I can to them. So I wrote down what I needed, what I put in them, and then I worked out what spices I want. Now I've just got to get the vanilla bean paste. Rightio. So I'll just show you what ingredients I'm putting in it. I won't show you the whole process. So I've weighed out 200 grams of white chocolate. And now this is the same one, it's the melts. I actually like the melts because they don't give quite a nicer flavour as what if you use a white chocolate does, blocks of white chocolate, but it's certainly easier and cheaper at the moment because they're all on special, which is the reason I bought it in the first place. Rightio. So let's do this. So we want a can of condensed milk, which is going to be the other half of this batch. And we're just going to put all in that's here. It should be like 450 grams or something. So it's a bit more than a can, but we're going to caramelise it anyway. We're going to fudgeify it. And if you have a can of condensed milk, you can just boil it until you can cook it until it turns into a fudge anyway. So, rightio. So I don't think having too much condensed milk will be a problem. We want 220 grams of brown sugar. So I had a bit of my homemade brown sugar left, but I also bought some because I didn't know how I was going to go. So 220. And what I did is I tipped half a bag in and then mixed it in with the homemade brown sugar that I had left. I mean, I usually just leave it a tide line. You leave your layered sand look, but now 125 grams of butter. I need to move that sugar from there because I don't need that. I was going to do it with white sugar and molasses, but I decided that I'd just open a bag of the brown sugar that I'd bought because I may as well use it. Now I've got it. So what was it? 125. Now what this is, instead of the glucose, I'm going to add molasses. Okay, that should be enough. And I, like some of the recipes cook the spices from the start, and some of them left them out until the end. So I am going to put them in now, and this can be our trial. So it says 60 grams of molasses. If this works out, I'll write this recipe up. But I will tell you, I'll show you this anyway and let you know if it works. So what have we got? We've got a can of condensed milk, 220 grams of brown sugar, 125 grams of butter, 60 grams of molasses. Now this one I didn't know, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla bean paste, and I'm hoping this will aid towards the cookie taste, the taste of the gingerbread biscuit. And then I want 2 teaspoons of ginger, So this is a half teaspoon measure. So that's 4 half teaspoons. And then I'm going to put in a half teaspoon each of cinnamon and mixed spice. I also thought about using cloves, but I thought it might be a bit strong, and I hope this isn't too much, but it's less than what some of the recipes suggested. So, and now, and we'll give it 8 minutes. Oh, 100 degrees on speed 3, and then I'll be back. So what we do is we do that, we stir it, then we cook it for another 20 minutes, aroma speed 3, same as the other recipes, and then we come back and we add the chocolate. And I'll come back when we're up to adding the chocolate. And then once they're all set, I'll bring them all out and we'll have a taste of them all. So we're up to the adding the chocolate. I'm going to check it in a minute to make sure that it's that I think it's cooked enough. I've dropped it on the ground. Okay, I'll have to get a tea towel. Okay. Just don't want that dripping back into the fudge. So, what I've done is at each stage, like, I tested it, like when it all got mixed together the first time, when we cooked it for 8 minutes at 70 degrees, 80 degrees, or 8 minutes at 100 degrees. After that, I tasted it. And it was, the molasses was really strong. So that's 18 minutes. I'm going to give it another 2 minutes. I nearly always do, but I just like to check. And the molasses was really strong. So then I gave it another, I cooked it for 18 minutes, aroma speed 3. And I tasted it again. And it's definitely come together better. But what I think I would do, I'm just doing a few notes. I'm thinking that maybe, do half molasses and half glucose, or even 40 grams of molasses, 20 grams of glucose. But I'm going to give this another 2 minutes. Now, I should have just done another 2 minutes because we normally do anyway. So rightio, I'll give it another 2 minutes and then we'll add the chocolate. Okay. I always like to wipe that bit of condensation off there. Rightio. So we've got 200 grams of chocolate. 200 grams of chocolate, 10 seconds speed 4. Check to see if that's mixed through. And what I was saying before is that I really do like the flavour, but I'm thinking there's too much molasses in it. Oops. Whoops. Okay. Okay. So I'll finish scraping that out. I'll get these in the fridge to set, and then once they're all set, it'll probably be tomorrow by now. Probably tomorrow once I get to it, and I'll line them all up and I'll taste each one and I'll tell you what I think. So we've got here. I haven't put a label on these ones, so I always make way too much fudge. This year, I have cut it back a little bit, but I've still got way too much. So, but it freezes really well. I've got all the fudges set aside for everyone's hampers, and I'm going to open one of each, and we'll give them a taste. So tomorrow, I am doing a Christmas dinner. It's early Christmas with my sister and 3 of my kids, because I'm going away for Christmas. My eldest son lives in South Australia with his family, so me and my middle son, we're flying down to have Christmas with them. But so we're going to do, we're just going to have a family Christmas dinner here before we go. So what I'm going to do with the rest of this is I will cut this up into squares, and I'll put it on a plate on the table tomorrow night. Oh yeah, I've got to get into this. So I'm also going to do a video, and I'll show you me packing my hampers, and I'll show you the cute labels I did for this. When I do that, but I'm really keen to taste this one. This one is the gingerbread fudge. Okay. Rightio, very good. So I'll have to get a container, a dish to put this in. Rightio. Okay, so this is the vanilla fudge. This one I undercooked a tiny bit, so it's still a bit soft. But I'm going to do this one, this one, this one, and then this one last. Delicious. I love vanilla paste. I love the taste of vanilla paste. Okay. Then this one is this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. We haven't tried them before, so let's have a taste of this one. Really caramelly tasting. Right. This year I made all the fudges I made with white chocolate. I love that one. I'm going to tell you they're all delicious. But this is the one I am super interested in. We had a few tastes along the way, and I'm definitely sure I told you what I thought of it along the way. But now that it's set and it's cold, I want to taste it and see what the molasses level is. I really like that. I think I'm going to add, I'm going to make this again. I'm going to do half molasses and half glucose, just because it's more like a molasses fudge than a gingerbread fudge. And I'm going to put more ginger in it. But that is really nice, and that is definitely worth remaking. So rightio, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please give it a thumbs up, pop over to my channel and subscribe, and I really hope I'll see you next time.